بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين. This is Dr. Zulfa. Now, this is the second lecture in linguistics. In this lecture, inshallah, we'll discuss two main points related to linguistics, which is the definition of language and the characteristics of human language. What is language? We said the definition of language. What is language? Think about it. When you speak, what do you say? What do you do? What do you produce? It is a human sound system. When you speak oral words. Now I'm speaking. So I'm producing sounds from my mouth. So all languages are sound systems. Whatever you speak, Arabic, English, you speak words. You produce air from your mouth in form of words. So language is sound system. Primarily, it's sound system represented in orthographic letters. When you write it, you represent the sound. When you take your pen and say the word boy, the first sound is b, b. Write it. So you represent the sound b, b with the letter b. O, O, it's the sound. It is air comes from my mouth. O, O. Write it. Represent it in letter. It's O. Boy, A, E. The sound A, yeah, E, E. Write it. It is represented by the sound, the orthographic letter, which is Y. You see. So human sounds are represented in orthographic letters combined together into meaningful words. They are combined together, the letters or the sounds. The oral word boy, B-O-Y, and the letters B-O-Y written together, they are combined together to form meaningful words. Now I know the meaning of boy is a male, a young male, not a female like girl. Okay, he is a young male. And sentences, I combine words into sentences. A boy is beautiful, for example. So it becomes, with more than one word, it becomes a sentence that communicates human thoughts and ideas. Words carries meaning, and sentences carries thought. When I say the boy is active, I communicate an idea or a thought. So sentences communicate thoughts. So this is language. This is language. Think sounds represented in letters. Letters are combined together into words. Words are combined together to make sentences, and sentences carries our thoughts and ideas which we want to communicate. Now, characteristics of human language. I say human language because it's the only creature which has language is human being. Animals don't have languages. They have means of communications. They produce sounds, they produce gestures and movements, but they don't produce sounds like us and have letters and sound symbols and words and communication and sentences. So the only creature on this earth who has language is human being. Okay. Now, language is a humanness. Humanness means limited to human. As you see, humanness means limited to human, which means that animals cannot acquire, learn, or use it. It is it is the vehicle which has kept human civilization throughout history. Now, language is very important because it is the vehicle which kept our civilization, our whatever we invent, whatever we make, whatever it is kept in language and uh, descends from one generation to another. Okay. Now, another characteristic of language is arbitrary. The word arbitrary, it means that it is not designed or planned. It happens haphazardly, like that, okay? Now, language is arbitrary in the sense that there is no inherent relation between the word of a language and the meaning or the idea conveyed by them. What does that mean? For example, what's the meaning of now here? This is a chair, for example. This is chair in English, kursi in Arabic. Okay, maybe in another word, let's say in Turkish it is den, for example, den. In French, it is bank. Okay, so all of them refer to the same thing, to the chair. All of them refer to the chair or to the kursi or to the bank or to something to sit on. But why French people say bank and in English people say chair and Arabs kursi or maqad? Why? The relation, it is something invented by societies. There's no one word, one language in the world. Everything refers to something. All the world refers to the maq'ad as maq'ad or kursi. No, there's no. Every society has its uh, reference for words. Okay, so and this there's no relation. There's no relation between kursi, maq'ad, and what we sit on. ما فيش علاقة. يعني, okay, now when you say run, يجري. Okay, in Arabic we say يجري. In English we say run. So why? Why do we use run in English and we use يجري in Arabic? Okay, there's no relation between the action and the word. There's no relation between the object and the word. It's an arbitrary relation. Only the society agree together to name something with this name. That's it. This is what we mean by arbitrary. There is no reason why, the example here, there is no reason why a female adult human, a female adult human being in English called woman, we say this is a woman. In Arabic, we say mar'a, as you see here. Mar'a. Why do we say mar'a and here, and you say woman here, and you say femme in French? Why? Oret in Urdu, zen in Persian, and feminine in French. Why? There's no relation. There's no relation between the word and the object. The choice of a word selected to mean a particular thing or idea is purely arbitrary. No relation between the object or the action and the word names it. But once a word, here is important. Once a word is selected for a particular referent or object in a certain society, it stays like that. So when English people word take the word woman to refer to a female, so they all agree on it and they use it. When Arabs agree that mar'a, female, adult female, they know it, agree it, and use it. That's it. And it stays like that. It's not changed. It may be noted that if language have not been arbitrary, there would have been only one language in the world. This is a main question. You have to answer it. Why? Why are there different languages in world? Why there are hundreds of languages? Why are there 100 languages in the world? I want you to try this question and to give me an answer for it. This is a piece of your homework. Why? You can say, why are world languages different from each other? This is the question. Language is social. Language is socially formed, as well as I have just said. Each society, each group of people has their own language. Each group of people has its own language. Okay, uh, this language is created in an arbitrary way, different from other societies. So each society has its language. That's why we say language is socially formed. It is a set of conventional communicative signals used by human for communication in a certain society. You know, I have just explained it when I explained languages are arbitrary, and each society has its own words and its own sentences and its own means of communication, and all they are formed in an arbitrary way, but it becomes a means of communication when all the society agree on it. Language, in this sense, is a position of a social group. Each social group has its language, comprising a set of rules. Each language in each society has its rules, which permit its members to understand each other. So there are a set of rules, of grammatical rules, of morphological rules, of combination of sounds, and so on. Each language has its rules. We study قواعد in Arabic, we study grammar in English, we study مفردات in Arabic, تكوين مفردات in Arabic, we study morphology in English, we study sounds in Arabic, we study the sounds المجهور والمهموس, how to, when two sounds come by each other, how should we pronounce them? And in English also, they have their system for putting letters beside each other, and how to pronounce letters when a letter comes by another letter, how it is produced. We will study all of these things. So but all of this is systematic. It's not done arbitrary. There's a system how to form a correct sentence in Arabic, in English, in Spanish, in Persian. There's a system how to form correct words, and also in all languages. That's why we say language is systematic in all ways. Okay. Language is social. We've said that language is symbolic. Language is symbolic. What symbol? You know what's the meaning of symbol. Now, it consists of various sound symbols. For example, when I say again the word boy, b, b, it is a sound. It is written. It has a form to represent it. Okay, phonetically, sound system, and their graph. They have letters that are employed to refer to some objects, occurrence of actions or meaning. Language is symbolic. A word, for example, when I say map, it carries the meaning of something drawn for a country or for a building or for streets, or this is, it carries the meaning. Okay, so the word map carries a meaning, which is a symbol of something. Okay. Or when I say play, it refers, it either phonetically or in written, either in sounds or written, it refers to an action. So symbols of language refer to actions, to objects, or to meaning. Again, refer to action when they refer to an action. For example, the word play, it is a symbol, play, symbol of sounds, but it refers to the action of playing, the movement, and it carries the meaning of doing something like sports or running or whatever. And sometimes it refers to an object. When I say table, this word table, which is a group of sound symbols and graphs, refer to this piece of wood in which we are writing or doing something. So the symbols refers to objects, to actions, and to meanings. Language symbols refer to objects, actions, and meaning. These symbols are arbitrarily chosen, as I have just said, arbitrarily chosen and conventionally accepted and employed by groups of people or societies. Words in language are symbols of meaning, of course. Now, language is systematic. We said language, first, let's revise what we said. Language is arbitrary. Language is only human. Okay, it's only limited to human beings. Language is arbitrary. No relation between object and the word which refers to it. Language is symbolic. Okay, it's a system of symbols. Okay, sound symbols, letters and words and so on. And language is systematic. Systematic, it means language does not combine together haphazardly or in a way or another, whatever you want to do in language. No, each language has its systems. For example, we have grammar rules in Arabic and we have grammar rules in English. If you don't, and we have grammar rules in French and Spanish, if you don't follow these grammar rules, you cannot make correct sentences. We have words, rules how to form words in Arabic, in English, in Spanish. If you don't follow these rules, you cannot form correct sentences. That's why we say language is systematic. It has rules to combine sounds, which is called phonology, phonetics and phonology. It has rules to combine words, which is called morphology. These sciences will study them, or these branches of language will study them, and it has rules to write sentences, which is called syntax. So grammar system, which includes morphology and sentence structure, and even inside each system, we have subsystems. In grammar, for example, okay, we say grammatical system of English language. Under the grammatical system of English language, you study tenses, you study indirect speech, you study models, you study preposition, you study complex sentence, you study simple sentence, and so on. You study coordinators. These are systems inside systems of language. This is what do mean by language is systematic. It means it's not formed or produced haphazardly. Okay, there are rules, fixed rules that we have to follow to produce correct sentences, correct words, correct sounds, and so on. Systems of language. We say phonetics and phonology helps us to know the sounds of language and improve pronunciation. Lexis is it's concerned with vocabulary and words. All of this, we will take all of this in details. This is what we will study in this course. Syntax help us to know how to make sentences. Morphology is identification, analysis, and description of the structure of morphemes and other units of meaning in a language, such as words, suffixes, affixes, prefixes, suffixes, and prefixes, affixes. I'll give you a very quick example. Take the word uncomfortable, for example. The root word, the main part of the word is comfort. Un is a prefix, a part or a morpheme, or a prefix, a morpheme, or a part of word which un, it means not. Able is another morpheme or suffix which changes the verb comfort into an adjective. So it becomes a, a combination of morphemes which has a meaning related to the root comfort. Okay, so this is what we mean by word formation. Just a very quick example to bring the idea to your minds. Okay. Language is vocal. Vocal, it means vocal. You see vocal cords. Put your hand on your neck, and you see the vocal cords. You touch the vocal cords where you produce sounds. الأحبال الصوتية. Language is vocal. It means primarily, language is speech, is spoken. Okay, is air which comes out of our mind. When a baby child, when a child starts speaking, he speaks sounds. Maybe he does not learn reading or writing, but he speaks. So language is primarily is oral. Oral is vocal, is produced by vocal cords. Language is primarily made up of vocal sounds only produced by speech organs. Speech organs also, we will study them, inshallah, next lecture. Speech organs, which are the vocal cords, the tongue, the lips, the nose, okay? In the beginning, it is appeared as vocal sounds. In the beginning, language, before writing, before inventing writing, language was only sounds. Writing came much after speech or after speaking. Writing is an intelligent attempt to represent vocal sounds. As again, I say, boy, it is I, okay, it is sounds now, so we represent them in letters or and orthographic symbols, how to write ib, how to write o, how to write a. In Arabic, you represent it in walad, how to write wa, how to write l, how to write it. These are orthographic, but actually, primarily, first walad as a sound. Okay, writing is only a graphic representation of sounds of language, of course. So the linguists say that speech is primary. Speech is first. Speaking is first. Oral production of language is first. The 8th characteristics of language is non-extinctive. It means man is not born provided with language. If man is born provided with language, it means that all people in the world speak the same language. We are born provided with the faculty of learning language. Allah provided us with the faculty of learning language. Only human beings are provided with the ability of learning and acquiring languages. Not any other creatures have the faculty or the ability to acquire acquire language. Okay, but we are human beings are provided with the ability of learning language, but we are not provided with the language we learn. We are Arabs. Okay, like all human beings on the earth, we have the faculty of learning language, the ability to learn language, but in an Arabic society, we learn Arabic. In an English society, people learn English. In a Spanish society, people learn or children learn French. In a Russian society, children learn uh, Russian. So language is non instinctive. Language is non-instinctive. It is conventional and culturally transmitted. It is conventional. It is and culturally transmitted. It is acquired in a traditional way, in a conventional way, from a generation to another, from the adults to children. In an English society, the children speak English. In Spanish, they speak Spanish, and in Arabic, in an Arab society, they speak Arabic, and so on. It is worth noting that human beings are born provided with an innate, instinctive, born with faculty, ability, instinctive faculty to acquire language, but not with the language. On the other hand, language is non-extinctive, non-extinctive. It's non-innate because it is acquired by human beings from society. Nobody gets a language in heritage and instinctive. He acquires it from the society where he or she lives. In other words, language is culturally transmitted. You have to explain the meaning of this phrase or this sentence, sorry. Language is culturally transmitted. It is learned by an individual from his elders, old people in this, his father, his mother, his brother, his elder brother, and transmitted from one generation to another. So these are the characteristics of human language. I gave you 2 questions that you have to answer before the next lecture. You have to explain, you have the discussion, and you have to explain the meaning of the characteristics of human language. Okay, you have to work in groups. You have to work in groups of, you are 20 students. You have to work in groups of 4. So we will have 5 groups. You will answer the questions together. I'll drop the question on the page and you will put your answers as usual. Thank you very much.